Hey everybody, welcome back to Mike the Mic. Here with me is Jake Geedy for another Tech Tuesday. Jake, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Mike. Doing real good.
Right on. So we're gonna talk some more Oculus
Mm-hmm.
this episode. We're gonna talk about more of the games behind the
Yeah.
Oculus.
Yeah.
Well, I know Jake, we're gonna have some B-roll throughout this episode. 5 different games. Jake, you can start out whatever game you want and just kind of go from there.
Okay, so what we talked about the first one, the first one that we talked about last time was Super Hot, and that was a game that you played.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a PC game. Now, some of this capture footage is going to be like a little like shorter, and that's because the headset at first wasn't calibrated for my height; it was calibrated for my girlfriend's.
Oh,
So I'm a little like the table's like here, and I'm like, but don't worry, it still looks fine. And so Super Hot. So Super Hot is actually, this is a port of a PC game that,
wow.
oh god, I can't think. I think it came out in 2011, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like the original game.
the original game came out of that, and it's basically, the whole concept of it is time moves when you move. So in the computer game, that would go to like your directional keys, or like if you moved left or right or anything like that, but you'd all have button presses and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, it's your whole body movement. So you move your head, your hands, all that stuff like that. It's super cool. And it is physics based. Things are a little floatier than you would expect. But like when you grab things, like you actually get like a little vibration on your controller that lets you know that you pick something up and things like that. And what's really cool is, because time of the moves when you move, you can be like Neo and like seriously like dodge all over the place.
Stuff. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I actually have in this last slot, I think I actually have one of the knives. There's a knife that you get,
Really?
one of the bullets is coming at me, and I went and I cut it in half, so you can see stuff. It's
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, no, it's tons of cool. I found it out completely by accident one time when I was playing it, and I was like, this is a really neat detail. So, anyway, so there's that. So Super Hot, that's probably one of the most popular ones, and that's one where you get like, you can't really do that sitting down. That's pretty much a full room scale, gotta walk around and do stuff like that. Yeah, so the next one I have is the baseball game, and I believe it's just called VR Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically like a home run derby kind of thing like that. And I've been looking for like sports games or for things like that might translate well into VR. And surprisingly, this baseball game actually really does fit in surprisingly well.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun. The one thing though, and I think you might talk about this too, is when you're holding a bat, you have like a bit of weight on it. You have a couple, you have like 30 ounces basically in your hand if you're doing like a drop 3 normally.
Yeah.
And it's weird because obviously you can't add that much to your hand, but that was the only thing. Like it didn't quite have the same kind of like whip. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I know exactly what you mean. And so it's like you said it was like a home run derby style kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's got there's basically you're getting pitched all fastballs. What's cool is it has a swing track. So as you swing through, it shows like where you swung, where the ball was, and if you made contact, how good your timing on the swing was, the exit velocity, all of the cool analytics that you'd see like if you were on like MLB Network watching a game like that. So
Super
that
cool.
was really cool. Mm-hmm.
No, now I think there's curveballs and stuff too, isn't there?
Yeah, so every so often there's like how like in the shootout contest in the NBA they have the money ball at the end of each rack. It's pretty much similar. They call it the golden ball. And so what happens is, and you can probably see in this one, I whiff one of those so freaking bad. It basically, they throw curveballs, and they throw like old school like really good Barry Zito style curveballs for Giants fans or A's fans out there. Just, I mean, it breaks from way up to here to all the way down to the ground. Like it's insane. Yeah, it is unreal.
All right, so everybody go check out that game. That one's pretty fun. All right, what's the next one?
The next one I have for you, Job Simulator. That's another one of the more popular ones. It's a fun little stand-around game. So, like, you're in this area. So, basically, the premise of the game is it's like 2055, and everything's been automated, and no human has to work anymore. So, they go on vacations to work in, like, the approximation of what these jobs used to be. So, I believe the one I have for you is a gourmet chef, which that's the one that's, like, probably the most common one. And
I saw you playing that one the other day.
It's tons of fun. This one's like the overtime mode, so I've beaten all of the stuff, and it's it's fun because it's like I make cake, and it's like flour. Well, robots don't know the difference between like powder flour and like an actual flour.
Yeah.
So you put it in the oven with an egg, and all of a sudden cake just comes out of it. And I think I made broccoli on it too on accident. So. But that one's fun, and that has a bunch of different things. That's a cool like entry game. So like after you have the first contact one, that's a good one to go with. Real quick, that Beat Saber game that we have.
Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber. I think this song here is Gangnam Style. Obviously, we can't have the audio in there, but that's basically what it looks like, and it's really like that. And it actually is like a full body like cardio workout because I have to like jump out of the way of obstacles and stuff. But it's pretty crazy. And then we were talking about like we talked about like the different uses of VR, and how it can be used for educational purposes and things like that. So there's a whole slew of experience and educational apps. So this one just was released a couple days ago, and it was made by the BBC. And what was really cool is it's a World War II the Berlin Blitz.
Yeah.
So it's basically in 1943. the BBC sent up a reporter and a sound engineer, a guy actually like cutting a physical record on the plane as it's going. And so as you're flying through you're in a Lancaster bomber, which is their main bomber, and you're flying over the North Sea into Berlin through the bombing run. You hear all of the cabin noises going on. You see the flak. You see the spotlights. You're there with the bombardier when he drops the bombs. You're looking back. It is so cool.
Pretty wild.
It's so realistic too. Like for the longest time, like I was going like, oh my god, like I'm actually here because like the thing rattled, like flak exploded next to the ship, next to the plane, and I went and it shook, and I was like, oh my god, I'm like, oh god, and I'm just like freaking out, and then I was thinking like, man, it shook me. That was an amazing experience, and like it was like I was literally there, and I gotta say, man, I don't know if I could have done it. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. It was
crazy.
Yeah, it was absolutely intense, and then it has like a cool little like thing at the end, where like it shows the credits and like who made it, and then like the actual guys who were talking to you in the cabin, and also like the statistic rates for sorties, so for planes.
That's what I was gonna about. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah. So next time,
your favorite one?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite one so far that I've had. I have another one that I'm actually downloading right now, but so I can't wait to do that.
So it's like a game, but it's like a documentary style.
It's like so you're there and you can move about the cabin in a certain area. It just depends on your play space. Yeah, it's you don't really like play it necessarily. You were there experiencing what it is like inside that cockpit, inside that plane, during this whole thing.
Okay, so now that you've talked about all 5 of those games, so which one's the one that you would most go after for people who are watching this?
Okay, so for 2 reasons, I'll pick 2. So,
okay.
For like someone who like wants to like actually play a game and have like fun stuff going on there, for the casual person, I would pick Job Simulator, bar none. It's one of the easiest to get into. It's a lot of fun. It's wacky. It's funny.
Yeah.
And it can need a lot of time. The next one for someone who wants like more of like a full body experience, I would go with probably Beat Saber or Super Hot, and then I think everybody, regardless of what you regardless of what kind of gamer you are, what kind of thing like that, you need to experience this 1943 Berlin bomber thing. You absolutely, it is unreal, and it's bar none one of the best experiences I've ever had on this whole thing. It is, wow, like riveting. I'm like, no joke. So
That's crazy.
mhm.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jake, and
Absolutely.
thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and make sure you guys go follow Jake and go check out his Top Cat stuff. You're bringing that back, aren't you?
Yeah, we're bringing that back. We have a couple of videos in the hole right now that are in the middle of editing. Like after we're done here, I'm gonna go and get some stuff because I filmed some extra footage besides this that I'm gonna end up using and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right on. Sweet,
Yep, yep.
sweet. And so everybody just stay tuned. Every Tuesday, Jake and I will be doing Mike on the Mic Tech Tuesdays. And so we'll figure out what we're doing next week. We'll surprise you guys.
Fantastic. We'll see what we got.
Right on. Thank you, everybody. This is Mike on the Mic, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
오빤 강남